Good morning, everyone. I do empathise with you. I'm English, I'm a foreigner here as well. Glasgow is a great city. I did some research online, actually. I don't know whether you know, but there's a very famous board game called Monopoly. They have their own version here in Glasgow. It's just one square. It says, "Go to jail." Thank you very much, Distripress. I just want to spend a few minutes giving you an overview of the magazine market from a publisher and distributor perspective, which no doubt is going to be highly instructive for my UK colleagues and competitor distributors here today. First, a little bit about my business, Market Force. We're just about the largest magazine distributor here in the UK. We're part of IPC Media, but we've got a very large portfolio of third-party titles, partworks and collectibles, and we sell about £400 million worth of magazines every year. And you can see a number of our publisher clients on this slide. We've seen our business grow in the past 5 years here in the UK, where many of our publishers are growing their share on the newsstand. And our business overseas is doing quite well as well. So we export to every single country in the world. So I'd say that we've got quite a deep and broad understanding of the magazine market. And one of the reasons for that is because we're very, very focused at retail, and indeed many retailers would say that we're probably the best magazine distributor here in the UK. So you can contact us on marketforce.co.uk, and of course you can follow us on Twitter. Okay, so turning to the magazine market, I'd say from a publisher's and a distributor's perspective, the UK is a pretty good place to be. As John said, we are a country of magazine lovers. Magazine readership has stayed pretty stable. About 80% of the population regularly read a magazine. That's more than the number of people that tweet in the UK, read the national press, or listen to commercial radio. So magazines are very, very strong here in this country. And I'd say also that magazine shoppers are particularly valuable to retailers. And what we're beginning to see is that savvy retailers are really recognizing the benefits of targeting and encouraging the magazine shopper here in the UK. They tend to be younger, they tend to be more affluent, and the average customer spends much more in store than non-magazine buyers. So the category, as far as a retailer is concerned, is quite attractive. And I'd say that we have probably the most sophisticated and varied retail magazine market in the world, from the very, very largest supermarkets to the smallest independent retailer. And as John has highlighted, we've got a very effective and I think very efficient supply chain here. Great data available from wholesalers, great data available from retailers, and certainly from a magazine distributor's perspective, that really leaves us to focus on sales opportunities in the market. So let me just highlight for you some of the trends that are affecting magazines here in the UK. First, just a word really about digital. I'd say, of course, the internet and the rise in social networking is providing publishers with many new opportunities to market to consumers in many, many different ways. But our experience really is not that, that consumers are turning away from print brands. The research is telling us that readers still prefer that print experience. Don't forget there are still 3 million more UK women that read a magazine than go online currently. And we shouldn't underestimate the power of print in a digital world. 3 magazines on this slide originated originally were from very successful digital sites. And what we're beginning to see is that more and more customers are shopping online, large UK retailers now turning to the internet to find ways in which they can sell magazines as customers shop. So we think that there are some real opportunities that arise from the development of digital in the print world. Our biggest challenge, of course, is the economy and how that's affecting how customers behave, and particularly how it's beginning to change how people are behaving at retailing, the effect that's having on magazine sales. At a time when consumers are even more careful about what they spend, value has become increasingly important. One indicator is the prevalence of vouchers or coupons here in the UK. 72% of shoppers are now regularly using vouchers or coupons, and that's 15% up kind of year on year. And you'll see that for magazines, the whole issue of price-driven promotions has become quite the norm. So I think the key challenge for magazine publishers and distributors is to find ways to add value for customers without devaluing the value of our magazines. The other issue, of course, is that whilst the pool of magazine readers has remained constant, frequency of purchasing is declining across some of our magazine sectors, particularly for weekly magazines. Now, this is giving rise to much more loyalty-based promotions at retail, and I'll show you a couple of these in a second. The other issue, of course, is that as pressure on household expenditure is changing customers' shopping patterns, supermarkets continue to be very, very important here in the UK. But we're seeing shoppers extending their repertoire of outlets, spending less overall, but shopping more. We're experiencing more local shopping trips. No doubt the escalating price of fuel means that we're seeing a lot more shopping closer to home. And shopping in the convenience chain is rising. We're seeing a boom, really, in convenience shopping and in convenience outlets. That's a real challenge for the magazine category. Convenience outlets only have space for a relatively small range of magazines, and the average convenience shopper only spends about 4 minutes actually shopping in the store. So real challenge there for the whole magazine category. But what we are seeing is new retailers coming to the category, and some of you might know that both Lidl and Aldi now stock magazines across the UK. I just wanted now to give you a few examples of some of the things that publishers and distributors have been doing here in the UK to try and drive magazine sales. Firstly, I just wanted to highlight for you some of the benefits of collaboration, publishers and distributors working together. For example, there's a significant amount of work taking place throughout the year at the PPA, with publishers and distributors kind of working together. Here's an example of the Just Ask initiative, which was really designed to encourage consumers to order from their local store. And the PPA's retail activities end with the MagSell Awards that recognises retail achievements through the year. And if you need more information on that, you should contact Nicola Rowe at the PPA, but a lot of good work happening at the PPA. In terms of publishers working together, well, clearly there are lots of markets where we compete fiercely. However, there are times when working together at retail can really drive some significant results. On the left-hand side there, you can see an example where Market Force and Frontline magazine distributors worked together, sharing some bespoke fixturing for the TV listings market at Christmas, last Christmas, that actually drove year-on-year sales for the TV listings category. And on the right-hand side, a great example of where CoMag and Market Force worked together across all of their publishers, creating promotions, collaborative promotions, that drove some great sales increases. So I'd encourage you as magazine publishers to take advantage of the benefits that working together can bring for magazines. Just moving to the supermarket channel, I say given the effect of the economy, the major challenge is really to find creative ways to stand out from the crowd, to access space elsewhere in the store, and as I said earlier, to deliver value for the magazines without devaluing our magazines. And here's a selection of some of the successful trade marketing activity that's delivered for a number of UK publishers in our biggest retail channel. We've had success linking magazines to other product categories, confectionery and entertainment, good examples of that, and some great work really between magazines and newspapers, really trying to encourage that frequency of purchasing that I talked about previously, specifically across weekly magazines. Now, whilst supermarkets are very important, there are, of course, lots of opportunities in the independent retail sector here in the UK. There are more than 30,000 independent retailers, and there are real opportunities for publishers who are able to tap into the independent retail channel to help you grow sales. So, for example, this exclusive cash prize promotion that was run earlier this year for a number of IPC titles actually generated over 30,000 extra sales for IPC in the independent retail channel. And really tailoring specific activity in independence can deliver some great results. Again, here's a successful example run by a distributor, Comag, that really drove sales through independent retailers. And both Smiths News and Menzies wholesalers provide promotional opportunities for magazine publishers through the sales clubs that they run specifically for independent retailers. So Super League and Premier Club give publishers access to over 4,000 of the very best independent retailers here in the UK. And further detail, both Menzies and Smiths News have representatives here that can talk you through some of the opportunities that they have. Now finally, I'd say whilst the availability of magazines across the UK is very, very high, we are seeing new retail formats emerging. I spoke earlier about the fact that Lidl and Aldi now take a range of magazines. We're seeing a broadening of magazines in outlets such as garden centre chains. For example, Wyvale's now stocking a range of magazines here. Magazines can be found in hobby stores, hardware outlets, and kitchen stores across the UK. So the distribution footprint for magazines is growing. A great opportunity, I think, for many publishers, whether you're publishing large consumer magazines or very, very specialist titles. So I hope that's given you some inspiration, some ideas for selling your magazines here in the UK. In summary, here's my advice. Obviously, firstly, get yourself the very best magazine distributor. You can find us on marketforce.co.uk. To be fair, other distributors are available. I'd say take advantage of the benefits of working with like-minded publishers, specifically at retail, working collaboratively with other publishers. Make sure you've got a good understanding of your magazine shopper, where and how they're shopping, so you can target them very effectively. And there's no doubt that innovation is driving sales here in the UK. If you can drive a point of difference at retail, the retailers and the consumers will definitely pay you back with improved sales. And remember, finally, there are many opportunities we believe that our market has to offer for you and your titles. I hope you see your sales grow too. Thank you for listening.